Hello, happy Friday. I am late. I just got out of the movies. I went to see, I'm not gonna say what movie I saw, but I went to go see a movie, and so it ended a little bit later than I thought. But I am here, and it is Friday, November 30th, the final day of November, and tomorrow will be the first day of the last month of the year, 2018, so I'm really excited about that. I have a little bit of movie whiplash. When I go to see movies, it feels like I absorb all of the emotions and the events or whatever that's happening in the movie. But let's jump into it. The sun is let's make some adjustments. Oh, that's better. Perfect. Okay, so today's title discussion is don't let them talk to you like that. So I know that a lot of you are probably have an idea of what I'll be talking about today. And yes, I will be talking about that in regards to how other people talk to you respectfully. But I also want to talk about something else that I would consider is very important when you say that statement, don't let them talk to you like that. So, the first one being making sure that people talk to you in respect. So, we meet a lot of people in our lifetime, and we work in a lot of different environments where around different kinds of people. And so, we have to consider how we respect them, one. Yes, but also respect is a two-way street, kind of like a friendship is. And so that respect needs to be reciprocated. And so when it comes to your age, like for example, I'm 28 now, and I've had a lot of cases where stepping into a place of maturity, I had to kind of think of someone's response to something I said that may have had a parental kind of gauge on it or parental significance behind it. However, it was still disrespectful. And so I had to step back and reflect on it, and then eventually I had to think of how to respond in a respectful way to that person, even if they are an older person, someone that's older than you, and respond in a respectful way in order to address what they said, bring it to their attention, because sometimes people are not aware of what they're saying, what they're doing, and how it affects or may offend you, and then find a way to nicely say, that's not okay. Make that person aware that it's not okay to talk to me like that, and I don't appreciate it. But there's a way that you can do that in a nice way, without being mean, but doing it with the intention to help the other person grow and grow to understand you. You have to teach people how to treat you. There's that quote that has been going around circulating that I've seen so often, is to treat people how you want to be treated, but also teach people how to treat you. And so if you are letting people say whatever they'd like to say to you, or you're letting people say things that are disrespectful or demeaning, then if you continue to let that go on, then they're going to continue to do that, and they're going to continue to demean you and make you feel any way that you feel from those things that they're saying. And so I want to talk about that. And I also wanted to talk about respect when it comes to friends and family. When you reach a certain age, I believe there's a certain level of respect that you have for your friends and your family, and realizing that just because they have those titles, if they're your friends or family, that you can still be honest with them about certain things and be expressive about how they have made you feel, or how they offended you, or how you feel in whatever situation, even if it's not a negative feeling that's associated with it. And so teaching these people around the different spectrums, teaching them how to treat you, but also reciprocating that respect back to them, because it's not just about you being respected, because if it's just about you being respected, then there's a certain level of arrogance that comes with that, and I don't believe it's a good thing to develop that sense of arrogance when we should all be respectful to each other. And I just want to highlight again that it's important to be thoughtful and mindful of what you're saying to people, and doing it with love. And even if you have to take some time to step back and say, I need to cool off before I respond to this person, then I would suggest that, because when we're usually in a heated moment, we can be quick to say certain things that aren't necessarily nice or necessarily respectful or necessarily expressing exactly how we feel in a nice way. And so I feel that it's important that you step back if you're in that moment of heat, you're mad or you're angry, whatever the case is, and think about what you're going to say. Reflect on how it made you feel and find a way to say it in a way that's conscious, in a way that's loving, in a way that will allow that person to understand how you feel without coming at them with a negative attitude or anything else. Because when you approach someone with a negative attitude, it's only going to reciprocate back. Like, you can think of times where you, even with siblings, you'll have an attitude about something, and then because you have an attitude, like the other sibling, like it's happened a lot of times with my sister, I'll be mad about something, and then she'll be mad because I'm mad because I'm coming out with her attitude, and it just makes things not good. And so that's why I'm saying that you should step back to reflect on what you're going to say before you talk to that person, so you're doing it in love. So yeah, that was the first segment of what I want to talk about for our discussion today, which is don't let them talk to you like that. Okay, so the second one is not letting people talk to you in a way that is speaking negatively into your life. And so I've talked about this a few times in my Fulfilling Life Friday last videos, some of the other videos that I've recorded, talking about not letting people speak negatively in your life. So people don't speak negatively in your life on purpose, not always. It's something that is learned. It's something that is subconscious. So people, based on your mindset, the things that you express are going to reflect your mindset. And so if someone has a negative mindset, then they'll be more likely to project that mindset onto you. And it's really unfortunate. And a lot of people aren't aware that they're doing it, is that they're projecting their negative mindset or their certain feelings towards an approach that you're having, or a certain feeling towards how you're going about your life. And so based on that, you have to find a way to make people aware, kind of like we talked about with the last subject of making people aware of how they have offended you or what they've said, is make people aware of the negative projection that they are putting towards you, whether it's something they're saying or their whole ambience or the way that they're reacting. You have to make them aware of it, but once again, do it in a loving way so that they're aware of it, and that you're expressing it in a way that is loving, but also expressing it in a way that they will understand. And so one way in which people will project their negativity off on you, thank you for the hearts, is to be passive, like passive disagreement. So for example, being an entrepreneur is something that is very unique. It's also something that not everyone is an entrepreneur, nor is everyone going to pursue entrepreneurship. And so often when I talk about the things that I do, the organization that I have, the many projects that I have going on, people will subconsciously project their negativity off on me. So they'll say things such as, wow, that's going to be hard, or, I can never do that because of this and that, and I don't know, there's just a variety of things that I get from people where they will say something that, if you're not in a good mind space, will make you think that what you're doing is not enough. It'll make you think that what you're doing is is not something that you should be pursuing. And when it comes to entrepreneurship, if you don't have a very strong mindset, it can be very difficult because you sometimes are in it alone. And then if I think of other things, like if you're saying, like, I'm a pre-med student as well, and so I would tell people, like, yeah, I'm a pre-med student, I'm going to be a doctor, and they would say, oh, well, you know, it's so hard to get into med school, like, there's always, and so, like, nowadays, when people say things like that, I will, number one, I won't say anything immediately. So I talked about in one of my other videos is that when you passively agree with something, for example, someone says, oh, it's hard to find a job, and you say, yeah, and it's not because you're agreeing with it, you're saying yeah because you want to make sure that person knows that you're listening to them. And so my thing is that if you are passively agreeing with someone, is that you may be accepting those things into your life. And so that's why I think it's important to realize when people are speaking negatively in your life and making sure that you don't accept those things, whether it's directly, and have kind of like a mental barrier to realize that that's happening. And it's okay that people do that in the sense that it's something they don't know they're doing. But how can we find a way to make people aware that they're speaking negatively into your life and projecting that negativity off and pessimism into your life? I think a good way to do that is to find the positive in things, and to find statements that are, once again, loving, but find statements that are a way to kind of highlight the importance of why you're doing it. Not to say this is why I'm doing it and this is going to be the explanation and whatever, but you're doing it in a way to express that you're comfortable where you are, you're comfortable with your decisions that you're made, and you're positive about the direction it's going to be going in. Going back to the example of entrepreneurship is often something where you don't know where the direction of things are going to go in, but you are able to keep that positivity, keep that mission, and that goes for anything that you're doing, whether it's music or entertainment or writing a book, is to keep that positivity in your mind, to keep you motivated and fueled on your journey of developing something of your own. A lot of people like to project their doubt and their lack of confidence off on you, their personal fears and their situations, which is unfortunate. And I've in the past done it before, where I projected my fears and doubts on other people, and growing into the person I am, I had to realize that that wasn't a good thing to do. And so when it comes to growing into your process of being conscious of what you're saying, being conscious of what you're accepting, you're always going to have growth periods. You're always going to need to continue growing. You're always going to need to continue. And it's up to you to make that choice to continue evolving. Kind of like one of my posts or my IG story posts that I had is to continue evolving. And so, yeah, that is what I wanted to express for Fulfilling Life Friday. I am going to run a few errands. If you just joined, welcome. But also, I am going to make something so that you can watch Fulfilling Life Fridays, not just on IG Live and on the IGTV. I'm going to make it so that you can watch them and replay them and everything like that, apart from Instagram. So, yeah, that is all. Drink your water. Like, I was posting, I don't know what night that was, but I said drink your water because, like, as you can see, like, my skin is glowing, and it could be the same thing for you. Like, just drink your water. Just drink like a gallon, like not a whole gallon. Okay, a half a gallon each day, and just notice how your body feels. You feel more energized. Your skin, your complexion is going to be clearer. But also, water is a natural detox, and so yeah, just drink your water. And I just want to speak blessings. So we are going to be going into December 2018, which is the last month of 2019, and so I want to speak acceleration, but also focus on your goals, because remember, I always say that your goals are just as important as the goals that you work on during the week for someone else. Your goals are just as important, so set aside some time this weekend to work on your goals. I want to speak wisdom into your life, but also love in whatever form that means for you. Abundance, whatever form that means to you as well. One final note is I will be hosting a webinar at the end of December. I'm going to post a notification on that later on today. But when you have time, click the link in my bio and go down to the first link and click on that link if you're interested in learning how to really set your 2019 off with goals and desires, and really actually obtain those goals and desires based on your ability to have self-accountability and self-responsibility, but also being able to review those things and make sure that you are completing those goals and getting the desires and things that you want. Manifestation is connected to your mindset. It's also connected to your belief system and your faith, but it's also connected to visualizing and seeing the things that you want as if they're already yours, speaking things into existence. But anyways, God is good. Happy Friday. And I hope you have a blessed weekend. Until next time, until next Fulfilling Life Friday, I will see you. I will see you then.